everybody, this is Tommy today. Welcome back to my channel. First and foremost, I would like to apologize. I know I've been gone for a long time. Life just happened and I really had to step back and kind of refocus my attentions, and I think I'm okay now and I'm on the upswing and I'm ready to get back to focusing on my hobbies, and that includes you guys and having fun here and just really letting go of my stressors. So what I want to do is start kind of not necessarily a makeup tutorial, but more of an informational series on the different components of a full face of makeup and how to get them to work best for you. This is entirely meant for educational purposes, so if I'm not an expert, I didn't go to school for these things. These are just all of the things and information that I picked up on learning how to do makeup from home. So if you have any extra information that you know of and that you want to pass along, by all means, drop it in the comments section below. I love learning new things, and I just feel like we all should be a team player. Come together and just share our information so we can all feel good in our skin. What we're going to talk about today is skincare, and I'll briefly touch on the tools that you need to get started with your makeup. Skincare is arguably the most important beginning part of a good makeup look, because you have to make sure that the skin you're putting your makeup on is healthy. To do that, you're going to want to start with your grooming. So if you pluck your eyebrows or have them waxed, or shave your mustache, just take care of that before we move on to the rest of this, okay? I know, my goodness, I cannot get my words out today. Just take care of that before we move on to the rest of it. You're also going to want to wash your face about 2 times a day. I do it once in the morning and once at night with a regular facial wash. 2 to 3 times a week, you might want to use a facial exfoliator. That gets rid of all of the dead skin cells sitting on top of your skin that the regular face wash just won't get rid of. You're not going to want to use something that's terribly harsh. St. Ives Apricot Scrub is pretty notorious for being incredibly harsh on your skin. I still use it, but I recognize it's bad for you. And that's because it's so harsh it can cause micro tears in your skin, and in those tears you could get infections, which could lead to just a lot of infections. I forget the one, cellulitis, things like that. Bad stuff you don't want happening on your skin. So look into it, look into the ingredients, and do your own research to find out what would work best for you. After you're done washing or exfoliating your face, you're going to want to do a real solid skincare regimen. And that's going to look different for everybody depending on what your skin needs. If you're a beginner, I do highly recommend going to theordinary.com. They have really, really good skincare plans depending on your skin type and what your skin needs. And it gives a detailed explanation on what their products are and what they do, and it's incredibly affordable. So you're not going to spend $60 on hyaluronic acid just to find out that it makes you break out or that it makes your skin burn, especially if you have sensitive skin. So check them out for sure if you're a beginner, or if you already know what works for you. Good for you. Keep it up. After you're done putting on all of the moisturizers and treatments, you're going to want to wait about half an hour before you move on to put on your makeup. You want to give all those treatments time to absorb in your skin, and that'll usually take about half an hour to do. If you put your primer or foundation or concealer on top of that before it's had a chance to absorb, it could interact poorly with the ingredients of the other products, and it could make it look splotchy, or it could dissolve it even. Just spend a little extra time waiting for it to absorb. Another really, really important thing you should focus on is staying hydrated, and not with soda or with caffeine or coffee is the word I was looking for, but with actual clear water. Water is just so important for our day-to-day routines, especially the older you get. I've noticed you just drink water. It'll help your skin look better. You also don't want to skip out on lip care. So invest in a sugar scrub for your lips. Most of them come in tubs like this, where you just simply dip your finger in, rub it on your lips. I recommend waiting about 5 minutes and then taking a cotton round and wiping it off, and your lips will be nice and smooth. It gets the surface dead skin cells off, but Lip scrubs also have coconut oil or some type of oil in them to absorb into your lips to make them look supple. So you have to wait that extra 5 minutes just to make sure your lips do absorb those oils. And after you wipe it off, go ahead and take a lip treatment or a chapstick even, and just swipe that on real quick for that extra layer of moisture, especially if you're going to use a liquid lip, which could be super drying. Just make sure your lips are taken care of. We're going to very, very briefly touch on the tools that you need to do your makeup. And I want to touch on it briefly because as we go through this series, I'm going to talk more about the tools needed for each step of the process. But as a baseline, what you're going to want is for me to find my tools. Hang on. You're probably going to want a sponge. Make sure you read the instructions for whatever sponge you choose. Some need to be wetted, which means you get them wet and wring them out. That's what mine is. Some of them you just use dry. So make sure you're reading those instructions and knowing how you're supposed to use your sponge. You're also going to want brushes. I'm not going to focus on the function of each brush because, again, I'm going to do that whenever we get to that specific part in the process. But also, I've noticed that some brushes are meant for one thing, but they work better doing something else. One of my brushes is meant for blending, but I found that it works great to put on blush. So it's just whatever works best for you. What I've also found is super, super, super useful is one of these silicone, they're meant for washing your dishes, right? So as a eco-friendly alternative to sponges and scrubs, they make little silicone things here. You can get them for like $1 at Walmart. I use them to clean off my brushes. So after I'm done applying my highlighter, I just wipe it on here to get the surface stuff off. And it's also really, really useful for whenever you wash your brushes. We'll touch on that later too. Alright guys, that's all the time I had for today. Make sure you focus on your skincare. Make sure you research and invest in tools that would work best for you, are the highlights of this video. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. I'm Tommy today. We'll see you next time.